All right, everyone. This is Tony again on the new podcast. I just got a lot of energy tonight. I'm thinking about this whole dating scene. I haven't really been dating. I haven't been dating at all. Talking about really haven't been. I just haven't been dating. So I'm just gonna kind of just give my thoughts on why I am just so like frustrated with the dating process and why I just don't even choose to date anymore. Um, I came in with a couple of like phases that I personally kind of go through when I'm dating people. I don't know if they apply to you all, but if they do, certainly, chime in, leave a comment or, a post about it, send me a message, and just let me know what your thoughts are. Because this shit is driving me absolutely crazy. These are things I just don't appreciate about the dating and why I just choose, for my own personal sanity to stay away from the dating scene altogether. The first thing I can't stand is the beginning phase. Like, I just don't understand, like, the awkwardness. Like, who comes to who first? Like, do I approach the guy first? Does he approach me first? If I sit back and let him be the man and he approaches me first, like, will he approach me, or, is the fuck off that's like permanently like scattered across my forehead, does that like, you know, kind of like turn him off, because I can be super standoffish, and it's not because, I mean, I want to be, it's because I kind of have to be, because like just the way that I've been used in the past, like I'm just super guarded. And I just don't want to be a fucking ego boost for these men around here that's just looking for like a quick, a quick high, a quick ego high, just from like a pretty girl. Like, I'm just tired of being that person's ego boost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to be like that person's like fill in the gap phase if he's like going through a breakup himself, or he's probably married, or he's probably just like a freaking player and he just wants to see if he can get a nice looking woman such as myself, to pay him a few minutes of attention and just to get my number real quick. Like, I just don't want to do the whole beginning phases thing. If I feel like you don't have like a genuine interest in me, then just fucking keep moving along. Like, I ain't got time for this. So that's one thing, is that I can't stand at the beginning phase of dating. Like, I'm just so like, just like paranoid and suspicious as to why somebody is even talking to me, and it's because of this whole the way that society and the media kind of approaches the whole dating scene. I'm just like, I'm like a black and white type of chick. Like, either you want me or you don't. Like, if you want me, come up to me and say, hey, I like you. I'd like to take you out. And I say, oh, really? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, my name is Whoop Whoop, and I do this and I do that, and I'm into this, and I'd really like to, tell you more about myself over a cup of coffee, or maybe I can take you out to lunch sometime. I say, great, that sounds great. You sound like a nice, well-rounded human being. Let's set that up. But it's not like that anymore. It's just not like that. So that's frustrating, the beginning phase. Then the next phase is the testing phase. I cannot stand the freaking testing phase. That's where the guy is trying to like, figure out what type of woman I am. Like, can he, like get away with certain things, like texting me, hey, hot stuff, or send me a picture, just to kind of see like what type of woman I am, what type of level that I'm on. Like, bitch, if you don't know what type of level I'm on, then why the heck did you even come at me in the first place? Like, I'm a woman of caliber and freaking virtue. Like, I ain't got time to be playing these games. I got a freaking mouth to feed. I'm a single mother and I got bills to pay. Like, I swear, I don't want to, like, think every time you're texting me or you're, like, doing something that's kind of gonna, like, push my button or rub me the wrong way, that you're, like, trying to test me as, potential, like, mate. Like, I don't feel like, I'm just exhausted with the whole testing phase of it all. And then, like, some men will do stuff like say, oh, well, I want to take you on a date, but I don't have that much money. Okay, fine, whatever. You don't have that much money. You don't have to do anything. And then they'll just be like, well, no, we can go here. Like, they just change their minds, they like flip flop around, and they said, well, figure out the day, you tell me what it is that you want to do, I want to do what you want to do. I'm just like, dude, if you can't put your freaking smartphone to use, and freaking download the Groupon or the Living Social app and figure out some things that we could do in the area that are cost efficient and fun for both of us, like, and make me feel special like a lady, and pick me up and just be like a normal human being and take me out on a regular date, then maybe, this isn't the best thing for us to be doing at this point, because I don't feel like being tested. That's the testing phase, is when they like want to test you and see what type of like caliber of a woman you are. Like, are you going to let them get away with not coming to pick you up? Are you going to let them get away with not opening the door? Are you going to let them get away with not paying for the dinner? Are you going to let them get away with saying stupid stuff like, oh, you're being too hard, or oh, you're being too high maintenance, because you want them to open the door for you, and you want them, you know what I'm saying, to like treat you like a lady, like you're being too high maintenance because you want them to treat you like a lady. Like, that's the testing phase. And if it's like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Like, if you bow down, then you're not the woman that they thought you were, wanted. And if you don't bow down and have standards and say, this is not the type of, way that I'm used to being treated. I expect you to open the door for me. I expect you to pay for dinner for me. I expect you, to be a freaking normal guy and take me out on a regular fucking date. If you stand up to them, they're just like, oh, you're being too high maintenance. I may be talking like a mile a minute. It's because I got so much to say about this topic. So excuse me for going just off. Okay. The next one is the dating phase. So once you get past phase 1 and 2, the beginning phases and the testing phase, then we have the dating phase. This is the phase where it's supposed to be the honeymoon phase. You're supposed to, be happy that you found somebody, such as a needle in the haystack, and you're able to like vibe with someone, and they passed all the preliminaries with, flying colors, and so did you, and you guys are hanging out, you're having fun, you're in the groove, you got a nice slow flow going between you. You're texting every day, you're probably having a couple conversations a day. You're meeting up at least once a week. Like, it's all good. You may even be throwing a little bit of, nookie in there every now and again. It's all good. The dating phase, I don't mind as much. However, the whole thing of like the titles and, what do we call each other? How do we address each other? How do we move forward and progress at a healthy pace? How do we keep this relationship on a steady, healthy pace? And still manage our outside lives, our friends, our family, our work drama, our paying our bills, keeping in shape, starting up our businesses or going back to school, and managing our own separate lives, and not making the person that we are interested in feel like they have to be totally submersed in our world like overnight and be like an Insta family. But also make them feel like they're included just enough so that they feel important and that we have enough time for them. The dating phase is such like a game. It could be such a hit or miss. Sometimes it can actually break you up before it even starts. The next one is the awkward phase. The awkward fighting phase. That goes in the dating phase. Like I said before, like anything can trip and trigger this part of the relationship, the awkward fighting phase. I can't stand the awkward fighting phase. The awkward fighting phase is when, you have like your first fight, and you guys are once again testing each other, trying to see how far you guys will let each other go, trying to see what buttons you guys can press. Can I call you a name? Can I undercut you and be passive aggressive? Can I turn my phone off for, 3 days and not fucking respond to any of your messages or your, what I'm saying? Your Facebook posts? Can I post, subliminal messages and all this stuff that got to kind of make you wondering if I'm out with somebody else, or that I'm just done with the relationship and I'm just kind of just waiting for the right time to tell you. Like, the anxiety behind it all is just totally nerve wracking to me, just even talking about it. I cannot stand the awkward fighting phase because what usually happens is that the man will retreat and he'll go and he'll just be gone for like 2 or 3 days at a time. And then the woman will be left like racking her brain away and, rallying up her friends, her girlfriends, and saying, "What the hell? What do I do to win this man back?" And it's just too much. Me, I'm a bad awkward fighter. I don't do well in the awkward fighting phase part of any relationship. I usually just freaking just say, listen here. I'm the person that will call an elephant out in the room and say, "Listen here, we need to have a conversation about this fucking shit right now, or this shit is done. Like, there's no reason for me to continue to even think about you if we're not gonna tackle this issue so that I can continue to move on forward in life." And I'm so serious, about like dating. And maybe that's my problem, is that I'm too serious about dating because I know that whatever I wrap my mind and energy around is going to affect the other things that I'm wrapping my mind and energy around. Because if I'm thinking about this dude and how we are in the awkward fighting phase, then I'm not thinking about, what dinner to cook my kid or how I can, go forward in my business plans. Or he may, be on my heart so heavy where I might not even want to work out as hard as much. Or I might want to just, take a lazy day from off of work or some shit and just gather my thoughts. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I might miss that opportunity to meet with a client, or I might miss that opportunity to like go hard, on a creative project that I'm moving forward with. It's because I got that shit on my mind. Like, it's hard for me to like really cut my feelings off like that. And as much as I try to play the tough guy and act like like I don't need nobody, like when I'm in a relationship, like that's like, a third of me, because I'm putting that much energy into it. And that's because I expect to get that back, because I don't just half-ass anything. So the awkward fighting phase, like, is a challenging part for me in a relationship, and I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling the same way about it. There's a few more. There's the breakup phase. This phase is transition from the awkward fighting phase. If we can't get over the awkward fighting phases and communicating and making sure we check in with one another, you know what I'm saying, in a healthy way and in a timely manner. You're not keeping me on pause for a day. You're not responding to my messages, 2 days later. Am I reaching down and, my bids for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you making me wait and you playing the hard game and you playing the tough guy role. Like, I'm like, I ain't got time for that. I'm going to move on over to the breakup phase. Fine. We just ain't there yet. And I'm not about to beg. And I'm not about to fight for you. And I'm not about to, like, beg you to be with me. It is what it is. And so I can't stand the breakup phase, because then I just, like, cut off all my emotions. Like, I might even block your ass from my phone. Like, I might even like erase all our pictures, erase all of our text messages, all of our sayings, like anything that remind me of you. Like, if you left a jacket in my car, like, I'm hardcore with this shit. I will throw that shit away. I will give it away to the Goodwill. Like, I am so serious. I'm hardcore. No, I shouldn't have said that. But I'm sure I'm not the only girl out there, the only person out there that does it like that. Like, breakup phase, we done. I want you out. I don't want no remnants of you around. And then there's like, after that, there's the mourning phase. And the mourning phase is like, I'm mourning, the relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm mourning what could have been, all the plans that we made and all the things that we talked about, and, how we said we were going to go, on that trip next summer, to Cancun or to Italy, or how we promised each other we would start our vegan diet together like in the next week after we ate crap for this whole week. Like that shit really gets to me, yo. And it's like I really, when I'm in a relationship or like even just a friendship, it doesn't even have to be like a romantic partnership. Just even just like a genuine friendship. Like I really like start to mold and shape like my world around a part of my world, not the whole world, because I have a good balance. But I start to shape a piece of my world around that other person. I start to look forward to the things that, we get into the habit of doing together, whether it's jogging every Saturday morning or getting that donut at Friday after a long day of work or grabbing that drink or, you know what I'm saying, or going to that great Thai food restaurant on Wednesdays. Like, that's what I look forward to, and I get into the habit of it. And my personal attachment styles are just like crazy. It's like I attach, and then like when shit is going down, I have the ability to like sever that attachment so fast it'll make you think it never even existed. The shit is hardcore. And so when I'm in the mourning phase, like that's a dangerous phase personally for me to be in, because if I have to mourn you in any way, shape, or form, then 100% of the time, your ass is not getting a second chance. Sorry, not sorry. Because I shouldn't have been in the fucking mourning phase any damn way. I should have been in the dating phase, in the awkward fighting phase, and we are getting through it through healthy communications, checking in, and positive affirmation of one another, and building, relationship building. Okay? So anyways, I hope that, this doesn't sound like crazy or anything like that. I hope that, you listeners out there can like vibe with this and like understand, especially the ladies. Like, let me know if I'm off. Let me know if my tactics are a little too harsh. I have a very interesting way that I see and view men. My lens is very tainted. And so I approach things in a more guarded, calculative way, to say the least. The next phase after the mourning phase is the endless cycle of on again, off again phase. Oh my God. If you manage to make it to this phase, you are in purgatory of the land of Tony. Okay? You are in purgatory in the land of loving me. You're in the long-term friend. Sometimes we could have been friends with benefits at one point. At one point, we probably had a really romantic relationship. It got really intense. We thought about being together for the rest of our lives with each other. We talked about having kids. We talked about getting married. We even might have set up a bank account and started saving money together. But as soon as the other phases came into place, in the mourning phase, me mourning the relationship and the what could have been stepped in, that's when you lost me. Personally, as a woman. I don't know about other women out there listening. But me personally, you lost me. As soon as I hit the I am mourning our relationship. MOURNING. Mourning as in the relationship died and I'm mourning it. The what could have been. So the endless cycle of on again, off again phase is where you're at. 1 year we'll be on and we'll be loving each other. It'll be all good. We'll be like, this is great. I don't know what happened to us. We can do this again. Rah, rah, rah. It'll be better than the last time. We'll actually make it. And wrong. Because as soon as we get past the honeymoon phase of that part of our relationship, It'll be the testing phase again, and then the awkward fighting phase. We'll skip the dating phase because we've already been dated before. We'll smooth on past that shit and we'll go straight into the awkward fighting phase. And as soon as we get there, I'm done. I'll be like, oh, I forgot why you, thank you for reminding me why we're not together. We're off again. And then I'll cut your ass off again. And then you'll be wondering why. And then a week or two pass because your ego will get in the way and you'll say, well, bitch, I got other people I can hang out with, other chicks is around me, and I'll say, well, bye, go get them. Go get them chicken heads. Because I got my pride too. I'm not supposed to have my pride. And then we'll cool off. A month or two will go by. You'll see me around. You'll say, hey, she's looking pretty good over there. And then you'll come back. And then I'll be like, well, what you want? And you'll be like, I miss you. And I'll be like, okay, I miss you too. We'll hang out. We'll have dinner. We'll start it up again. We'll have another fight. It'll be over again. On again, off again phase. Until you get a girlfriend or I just decide I just don't want to deal with your ass anymore. We'll get so frustrated with the process. We'll eventually wear each other out. And then that'll be the end of that. And I'll just be a distant memory. So, listen here. The moral of the story is, I am not feeling this whole dating scene. I cannot wrap my little fingers and heart around it. Like, I got everything else going on. I'm working on the financial piece in life. I'm working on the staying in shape piece in life. I'm working on the emotional aspects and the mental health and the emotional IQ and staying, afloat with my feelings and all that good shit, right? But as far as the opposite sex and dating, ooh, honey child, I cannot deal with it. I can't deal with the minute bullshit and the happenings and the day ins and day outs of the relationship as the relationship with the opposite sex unfolds. I personally have a problem with keeping up with the energy and the momentum that it takes to kind of keep it going. I gotta find somebody that has like the right balance, that has a little bit more masculine energy than me, because I would admit I'm fucking masculine and that makes it hard, difficult for me if I'm always trying to be, the leader, and I'm getting with somebody that's also trying to be the leader, which by rightfully so, he should be the leader by nature, right? But I just have a tough time with it. And then you want to add social media to the mix. You want to add a pool of other beautiful women that is vying for his attention. Some don't have standards. Some just, will date, just to have a man. They don't care if he's married, shacking up, got 5 baby mamas, in jail. They just don't got no fucking standards. So, they'll just do it and say anything to get with any man. It doesn't matter. So I'm just like, and I know I'm not the only successful black woman out there that has these issues. I'm one of a million, I guarantee. I look on Facebook, I look on social media, and I just see all these beautiful women that just have it going on, and they just got their shit together. They look good. They know how to cook. They just like, they raising their kids right. Like, they're successful, career-oriented, goal-oriented. Like, they got the complete package, right? But they are super ass single. And I want to know, whoever is out there listening, what your thoughts are about this podcast. This one, please don't shame me for, my thoughts and how I approach relationships. We're all a work in progress. I'm not saying that the way that I approach relationships is the right way. Obviously, it's not, because I'm still single. Okay. I'll repeat. Repeat public service announcement. Obviously, the way that I approach relationships is not the right way, because I am still single. However, as I transition over to the single mindset to wanting to be in a relationship with someone in a long-term relationship that will, hopefully lead to marriage and beyond. Um, I want to know what people think about. I want to know like some tips and some rules for how to get like in a serious, stable, solid, grounded relationship. A healthy one. Did I mention healthy? It has to be a healthy relationship. Alrighty. I hope that you all enjoyed this podcast. There will be plenty more. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I am signing off until next time.